I'm not going to show you good number of slides. I'm just want to show you the syllabus, right? Are the currents are the one which are creating the impact on the coastal areas. What type of impacts are there? What type of changes are being brought? The ecosystem supports all life on Earth. The healthier our ecosystems are, the healthier the planet. Whenever our ecosystems are healthier, and so our planet will be healthier. And what we are going to discuss here, we are going to start with the basics, like what is ecology, what are the principles of ecology, how the interaction happens, why the people are bothered about learning more. When you are learning more the knowledge is there. More the knowledge means what? More the ability you can express yourself. And moreover, whatever the syllabus that is given is completely defined in the human geography. What it is talking about? It is talking about the perspectives, meaning what? How the subject geography got evolved over a period of time.
Congratulations on clearing UPSC 2024. Watching you succeed is really inspiring.
Thanks. I have been in your shoes. I know how overwhelming the start feels.
Exactly. There's so much to cover, I don't even know where to begin.
I felt the same. That's why I joined the GS Foundation course by Vision Eyes, which offers structured classes, expert faculty, and regular revision. It gave me clarity and momentum.
And you stayed consistent with it?
Yes, I followed the complete roadmap offered by the course. If you're aiming for 2026, start with this course. It offers you holistic coverage with every stage of the exam covered seamlessly. This is where your journey will truly begin.
Got it. I will definitely explore the course. Where can I find the details?
Just visit their website or call on the given numbers.
Yeah, good afternoon all. So how comes you decided your option as geography? It's out of interest or someone has forced you, come and take geography as optional? Huh? Completely sheerly out of interest. From where you got the interest from? Good. You are from science background, so okay, so because of the science background, you believed in geography. Good. And other people? Okay. What was your graduation? Okay. Because of that one, you got interested in the geography subject, right? Now, let us start with this one. Hope my friend Rajesh has given you a complete picture, like what is the syllabus and all these things, right? What is the trend that is there and all these things. Right now, what is happening right now, there is a shift in the UPSC where the UPSC is more towards the human part. Earlier, the Geography, which is nothing but the physical part. Always the physical part was given more importance. But right now, in the modern times, what happened in the recent times, more of the human part is given the importance. More of the human part is given the importance. Like, whenever you are seeing the, let me show the screen. Is the screen will be there? Yeah, this is the one, right? Fine. Now, I'm not going to show you a good number of slides. I'm just want to show you the syllabus, right? But the trend, the shifting trend is there. Let me show the shifting trends. Like, yeah, earlier the physical part was given more weightage, but right now the human part is given very great weightage. And moreover, in the human part, what is the main part, the syllabus, if at all you are going to the syllabus like this one, if I show the syllabus, so here the very basics of the life is geography. You might have come across this particular picture where the three important the chapters that are present in the physical geography. One is called as the lithosphere, all related to geomorphology, climatology, and oceanography, where it gives to us to the biogeography, right? Environmental geography and the biogeography, right? That is what the essence of, very essence of the life, right? Let us see the overview of the syllabus. See, this is what the syllabus where our friend already have shown you regarding the geomorphology and the climatology. Now let us go to my part. What is the part I will be taking? Right from the oceanography, see the current trends. Always the whatever the concepts which are there right from the that UPSC has given the questions in the past ways, where the things are related to what is called as a traditional way, very general way of asking the things. But right now, the shift has moved towards the current related aspects. There is a blend of the core part along with this one, the current part. Whoever is having more link with the current, what is happening right now with in the world countries, along with the core, then only the people can get more marks, right? In the case of oceanography, what can be the very important one is, what was the question asked in the 2025 mains part? This was the part. What is the general understanding about the waves, currents, and the tides? But these currents are the currents are the one which are creating the impact on the coastal areas. What type of impacts are there? What type of changes are being brought? The best example, the current related part which is called as AMOC, Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, which has got very great significant on the entire European and the eastern part of the North American continent, meaning what, in the northern Atlantic Ocean, entire the climatic aspects are being changing because of the slowing down of the AMOC, which is also is being mentioned by the climate scientists as the tipping points. What are tipping points? Tipping points are those changes, once they happen, never there is question of returning back, meaning what, there is no chance of coming to the original condition. That is called as a tipping point as given by the same climate scientist. And so these current related data, the current related aspects needs to be highlighted along with the core part. In the core part, in our classes, we will be going to each and every topic, like, what is the bottom topography of Atlantic Ocean, what is the bottom topography of Indian Ocean. We will be showing everything, but where your concentration should be on. Knowing just the syllabus that is there, knowing, understanding whatever is given here doesn't makes you a greater administrator. What is important is how this particular concept is related to the current development. Like the best example, the other day the question was given on the sea level changes. How the sea level changes are impacting the life on the coastal areas. Because of the changes that are happening in the sea level, what type of changes can be there? Then the coral bleaching, coral reefs. What is the basic understanding with respect to the coral lives? The corals acts as a what is called as indicator species. They will be indicating the health of the ecosystem. Whenever the corals are acting as a indicator species, which are indicating the health of the ecosystem, that shows that the degradation, whatever the degradation that is done by the man, is being represented in the form of the coral bleaching, and so the man again needs to take care of that area. Also, whenever it comes to the next part, which is called as the biogeography, nothing but the biological part of the geography, which is a combination of, see the three, atmosphere, lithosphere and the hydrosphere, where that gives birth for the bio, nothing but the life. Where the biogeography and environmental geography, these are the products of the interactions of lithosphere, atmosphere and the hydrosphere. Whenever the atmosphere, lithosphere and the hydrosphere are interacting on an equal basis, then what happens? You can find the two outcomes. What are the two outcomes? One is biogeography and one is the environmental geography. Let me put in a different way. What is biogeography and what is environmental geography? Biogeography is nothing but the impact of the nature on the man. How the nature is impacting the man's life. That is what the biogeography. Then what is environmental geography? The impact of the man on the nature. Till recently, what was the important topic? It was only the bio part. The environmental studies became very important only after 1990s. Meaning what? Right from 1750s, man started impacting the nature, thinking that never the nature will be retaliating. The nature's impact was there on the man. That is what only the people have understood. But never the people understood the man also can have a greater impact on the nature. Because of the man's impact on the nature, the environmental studies right from 1990s became very famous, very important all over the world. When all these developments are happening all over the world, and so the environmental changes, means when the environmental studies was introduced in our academics, even in our UPSC. What type of things needs to be understood here? See the biogeography. What biogeography talks about? Life, where the life can happen, the soil, how the soil takes birth, what are the varieties of soils you can find, the classification of the soil. There was a greater Russian geographer by name Mr. Morbot. Morbot has classified the world soils on a very clean basis. He said that yes, each and every soil is different from other soil in texture, in composition, in the properties. Some soils are having the capability to go for permeability, or some of the soils are having the capacity to hold the moisture for longer duration. Because of all these things, each and every soil have got different characters and different species can be grown on that particular soil. This is what about the life related. That very life related supporting system is called as soil. Such a soil is getting degraded by the again natural as well as the human factors, the anthropogenic factors as well as the natural factors, where the soil is getting degraded, which is called as soil erosion, then the degradation of the soil. Then what you need to understand, these are the core problems. Then what is the other important point? When the soil is degrading naturally, where the environment is means what? The soil, which is a life-giving entity, is getting degraded, what the man is doing. When it comes to what the man is doing, that is the current part. There is a concept in the United Nations right now. Recently, even India was a greater participant in the particular summit. See the case of environmental degradation. When we talk about degradation, not just the soil, also the nature is getting degraded, which is having a overlapping with the environmental and the soil. Now see this one. Biogeography and the environmental geography are correlated. What was the question asked in the year 2025 in the mains part of geography optional? They are talking about United Nations decade of degradation, it's called as regeneration, ecosystem regeneration. Did you go through the paper? The 2025 optional geography paper. In the first paper, there was a question with respect to the United Nations decade of ecosystem regeneration. When the question was asked like this one, United Nations decade of regeneration, if this is the one, let me show directly what should be the answer. See, answers are somewhere, directly you can find the answers. Answers are directly given in some of the websites. The only thing is, you need to go to that particular website. You need to understand where you need to search the answers for. Which part of the website is very important. The internet is such a very huge thing. Once you enter into internet, you will be searching everything and you will be coming back without referring for what you entered for. That is what the biggest problem with the internet. But you should be having some understanding where you are going to search. What is that point you have entered into the internet. Now see this one. How to understand this one? What is the question that was asked? Like United Nations decade of ecosystem regeneration, right? That was the question. If at all you are typing the same thing, United Nation decade of ecosystem restoration. Ecosystem restoration. Now see this one. United Nations decade of restoration. Directly the entire website itself is there. Who can understand this one? Sir, since the question is asked by UPSC and so you are directly going there. That is what we people right now we can understand. But in the classes itself, we'll be giving the entire list, what are the important sites where you need to search, what is the concept and what type of answer you should be writing. What is the answer? The answer, whatever the question that is asked, itself is the answer. Preventing, healing, halting and reversing the loss of nature. The very core of the answer should be these words, like preventing, halting and reversing the loss of nature, which is called as restoration of the nature's ecosystem. For this, what is the clue? How what type of explanations in the class helps you to understand this one? There was a challenge called as Bonn Challenge under the United Nations Convention in Combating Desertification, UNCCD. There is a concept called as Bonn Challenge. What is this Bonn Challenge? Bonn Challenge is the one where the governments of the world countries, they came together. They came together and took the challenge. It was earlier, the target was just 2020, but by the time it was 2020, the target was extended to 2030. And right now, what is the target given to all the world countries? All the world countries need to restore minimum of 500 million hectares of degraded land. The land which is already degraded needs to be brought under the cultivable condition. These are the concepts where in the classes we will be coming across all these concepts. Where is the clue for the question asked in the 2025 mains part lies in the clue lies in the environmental degradation. The concept of within the degradation, we'll be talking about what type of challenges the man is uptaking. And so, when the governments of the world countries have taken a oath of bringing 500 million hectares of land under the cultivable condition, what is the role of our India? The India has taken a greater oath, saying that out of these 500 millions of hectares of land in the entire world, India is going to restore 26 million hectares of land. That is what the promise given by the government of India. By 2030, the government of India is going to bring back 26 million hectares of land under the cultivable conditions. Just imagine, whenever the commitment was given, definitely the government will be working on that commitment and some of the schemes may be introduced, some of the policies may be introduced, right? You are seeing the schemes, policies at the micro level. See, this is a scheme introduced by the government of India, and so you need to know the objectives of the scheme, you need to know the what type of methodologies are being included in the scheme. That is what the people are going in a narrow way to in understanding what is the scheme. But the basic question remains, why the government brought that particular scheme? That is not answered. When you can work on this one, why the government is forced to introduce that particular scheme? If you can work on that challenge, obviously these objectives and all these things, they will be there in your mind. At the same time, what is the reason, the broader picture, you can get the broader picture. This is the way how you need to understand. The basics for this question lies somewhere in the larger topic called as environmental degradation and the ecosystem degradation. Is it clear? What is given in the syllabus? Environmental degradation, that's it. But within that one, what is the action of the man? Why the man is involving such type of challenges? Why the man is taking care of some of the important ecosystems restorations? Wherever the man, the other best example, what is the other best example? Let me put the other example in a different way. Like, the government of India has introduced new scheme called as MISTI program. Have you ever heard the name of the program called as MISTI program? What is MISTI program? The MISTI program is for the conservation of the mangroves. The mangroves conservating program. What are mangroves? Mangroves are the coastal ecosystem. That is one ecosystem. conserving that one specific ecosystem itself is a what is called reviving, reversing, preventing, halting. What is that? Degradation of that particular ecosystem. When the government of India has gone for the conservation of the mangroves, don't you think that the mangroves are a wonderful ecosystem, and at the same time, this is an important point to learn. You need to search that particular mangrove under this one, which is called as the United Nations Decade on Restoration. What they are trying to restore? The ecological restorations. See the one. What is the mission that is there for these people? There has never been a more urgent need to revive damaged ecosystems than now. The ecosystem supports all life on earth. The healthier our ecosystems are, the healthier the planet. Whenever our ecosystems are healthier, and so our planet will be healthier. This is what the ecosystem's health and the planet's health. The United Nations Decade on the Ecosystem Restoration aims to prevent, halt, reverse the degradation of the ecosystems on every continent and in every ocean. Not just the continents are taken into consideration, even the oceans, whatever the ecosystems that are present on both the continents as well as the oceans, all they need to be restored. It can help to end poverty. Ecological restoration, meaning what? That is an ecological topic. Ecological scenario is connected with the economical scenario. Connectivity. When you can understand that connectivity, you are the master. You can do wonders in the answer writing. Always, what is important? The betterment of the human on the earth surface is more important. How to bring the betterment for the people? How to bring the best facilities for all the people who are living on the planet Earth? The ecological restoration should be there for the economical benefit of the people. The economical aspects needs to be connected with the ecological aspects. That is what the link. Whenever you can understand that link, there is no looking back. You can do the greater. Is what you can achieve the greater task, right? See, end poverty, then combat climate change and prevent mass extinction. Mass extinction of what? Species. It will only succeed if everyone plays a part. Meaning what? Participation. Every citizen has to participate. Whenever everyone is participating, then what should be the examples? The examples are, these are the examples, whatever the one that is given. Like, say for example, if at all you are giving the examples like transforming eastern province of Africa through adaptation, meaning what? The people needs to get adapted to the changes that are happening, transforming the eastern part of the African region through adaptation. Then other example, towards ending drought emergencies. Whenever the droughts are there, you need to end the drought emergencies. Again, where? In Africa. The best example, these are all the best examples. Enhancing food security. What is more important? Food is important for the survival. Whenever the food security is there, then everything can be achieved. If the food itself is not there, what to achieve? See the case of the African countries like Nigeria, Mali, then also you can find the Somalia, then Ethiopia, where you can find the malnutrition on a rampant scale. Whenever the malnutrition is there, nothing but the food security is not there. What else they can achieve? First and foremost, basic need needs to be satisfied. And so, these are the things. The United Nations always thinks in that angle to bring the betterment for the people. And as a leader, as a UPSC aspirant, you should also think, you need to think in that angle. And so the question, whenever you are having all this understanding, how to bring the betterment for the general people, whenever you are having that acumen of bringing some betterment to the service of the people, in the service of the people, to the service of the humanity, obviously you will be writing an extraordinary answer. What is the only thing that needs to be there? You need to be channelized. Yes, this is the website. When these things are shown, there is no looking back for you. You people can get whatever you want. Right? See, everything is there in the syllabus itself. What you need to understand is, you need to check how the syllabus is connected to the current part. What is the current part? What the government of India is doing. What the world countries are doing. Is it clear? Whatever the government of India is doing, meaning what? That is the most necessary at this point of time. It is for what? For the betterment of the Indians. And so, it will be a good answer, a good question for you in the UPSC. How to predict the pulse of UPSC? Always see the betterment of the society, always see the betterment of the people of the India, and whatever the major activities that are happening in the world countries and how they are impacting the life in that particular region. You need to understand. What happened recently, day before yesterday, there was a massive earthquake in Afghanistan, killing almost 800 people at a go. Then earthquakes becomes very important question. This is how you need to catch the pulse of the UPSC, right? This is the environmental part. Right now, the environmental part is playing a key role because each and every life form is getting affected. And what we are going to discuss here, we are going to start with the basics, like what is ecology, what are the principles of ecology, how the interaction happens, what are the different types of ecological systems are there. You can find the art ecological system, then the syn ecological system, how the art ecology is being defined, how the syn ecology is defined, how the interaction between the species and the species happens, how the interaction between the species and the environment happens. Whenever there is a interaction between the species and the environment, what is the result? Whenever there is a interaction between the species and species, what is the result? How the energy is flowing? The energy, what is the energy for the entire earth? Sun's energy. See, all we people are having the energy right now. Because of the energy only, I'm delivering something. You are sitting calm and you are listening. You are writing. You are looking. From all these things, what is important? Energy is important. From where that energy came from? Before coming to the class, you have taken something. What is that something? That is a plant product. From where the plant got energy? Since the energy cannot be created, not destroyed, needs to be converted into other form. And so, from where the plant got that energy? The sun's energy. Entire energy, whatever the energy that is there on the planet right now, is the manifestation of the sun's energy in different forms. And so, the sun's energy is there in us. Just imagine how sacred your life is. When you are a product of the sun, then you are most sacred, right? If you are thinking like this one, these things, they become very easy for you. You can master the subject. Once you get involved in the subject, you love the subject. Once you love the subject, there is no looking back. You will be keep on digging the new things. When you start digging more and more things, obviously the interest is there. The moment once the interest is there, no one needs to motivate you. That is called as the self-motivation, and can do greater wonders, right? And so, don't see UPSC as a meager exam. Always see that your life ambition. What is your life ambition? To do something to the society. If at all you are having this ambition of doing something betterment in the society, to do something to the as a service to the society, to bring a mark in the society. Yes, if at all we are changing this one, entire the families, the lives of the people will be changing. Whenever you start thinking in that angle 24/7, then you are the right candidate. Obviously, you will be chosen, because whatever your mind says, you will be writing in the answer. Whenever your mind is read by those people who are waiting for such type of people, they will be definitely catching you and they will be keeping you in the center of the service. Is it clear? Always it is demand and supply. What UPSC is demanding? It is demanding such type of personalities who can bring some betterment in the society. And if at all you are having the capacity and your nature itself is doing some service to the society, obviously you will be selected. Is it clear? Don't see the exam as the exam. Sir, this is very difficult, sir. Ancient India, sir, very difficult, sir. I am unable to understand. No, it's not about the ancient India, or it's not about the ethics, or it's not about the polity of the India. It is the attitude of you. Are you having the attitude of doing some service to the society? They'll be checking you. How they'll be checking you? In the form of polity, history, geography, economy. If you can show your mind saying that, yes, I am the person who is having the capability to do all these things, because I know all these things and I can do this one, then you will be picked up. Not grabbing whatever the service that comes into the way. You should not be in a position to grab, you should be in a position to pick up the services, right? For that, you need to have some basic inputs. These are the ones. What are all these things? What is happening around you? How the man is getting, in fact, what is called as affected by the nature. How the fellow is affecting the nature. That is what the environment and the bio part, right? Coming to see the next part. This is the very, very important part. This is where right now the entire gamut of the UPSC, especially geography optional is there. And before going to enter this one, let me put like this one. While I am coming to the class, accidentally I met one fellow who happens to be aspirant, UPSC aspirant, and he was asking, sir, I am having a dilemma, sir, whether to take geography as optional or some other subject as optional. Then he's asking, sir, if you are taking geography as optional, sir, the syllabus is very vast, sir, whereas some other optional where the syllabus is very, very less, sir. Why the people are bothered about learning more? When you are learning more the knowledge is there. More the knowledge means what? More the ability you can express yourself. And moreover, whatever the syllabus that is given is completely defined in the two subjects. What are the two subjects where UPSC has completely defined each and every word of the subject? It is geography and the next one is history. Therefore, you feel like the syllabus is more. But normally, what is happening in the geography, especially in the geography optional, more than 80% of the syllabus is overlapping with the GS. You will be having the greater edge. However, you have to read disaster management. You have to read what is called as ecosystems, the environmental studies. You need to talk about what is called as the international relations. What you call that one as international relations is there within the geography. Let me show you where you people are seeing this one in a different type. Let me show you what is this international relations and how geography is interrelated. Sir, is geography and the international relations are interrelated? What we call this one as, this is called as geopolitics. What happened to this one? Let us take the new screen. The board is white, but let us go for black, Yes, now it is good, right? Now see this one. What we call this one as in geography, the people right now, they are fascinated towards a topic called, sir, international relations, sir. International relations, sir. Very, very important. That is what the people are fascinated towards, right? But the thing is, in geography, way back, right from 1970s, in the UPSC, where you can find the geopolitics. What are these geopolitics? Geopolitics are nothing but geography-related political events. Because of geographical conditions, the political developments are there. And so it is called as geopolitics. The best example, right now, a very important scenario is happening between the world countries. The equations of the world countries are keep on changing. Earlier, the only one country which is called as USA is having a hegemony over the other countries, US hegemony. It is imparting sanctions on all the other countries, showing that its currency is supreme. Right now, the equations got changed because of the SCO summit. What is happening? Recently, in the Tianjin of China, the SCO summit happened, the very greatest summit of all the SCO summits, where all the people met, and specifically, it is the entire, the show was steered by our Prime Minister. This is what happened in the recent SCO summit. See the political equations, they are changing, and right now, how it is related to our UPSC, how it is changing, the transportation sector, how it is going to change the export-import scenario, because we are being laid not just 25% of the tariffs, we are being laid 50% of the tariffs. Another 25% were laid because we are importing oil from Russia. Just on the pretext, like, we are importing the oil from Russia, and so another 25% tariffs have been laid on India. And so India wants to shift its equations. Instead of depending upon only one country for the exports, let us depend on other countries, so that the world, the world is not enough. We can find number of places where the demand is there in other areas, and so we want to find the new partners. In that process, SCO summit has become very, very important. Within this one, there is a concept that where the concept is called as international north-south transport corridor. See the international north-south transport corridor. What is the significance of this international north-south transport corridor? Say, for example, if it is the world countries, if it is the world country where India is located here like this one, right? This is the world map, roughly, right? If it is the world to certain extent, imagine this one. India and Russia are very thick friends. All you people are well aware. Right from the times immemorial, India and Russia are very, very thick friends. Even the time when the US ditched us, how the US has ditched us, they have promised that they are going to help us in the nuclear technology, but they didn't help. At the point of time, again, who came to the rescue? It was Russians. So, India and Russians are having such a great cordial friendship. Now see the one. Whenever we want to, this is Russia. Suppose this is Russia, right? When we want to get any help from Russia, or you want to export any product to Russia, what is the route? As of now, from Bombay, the ship has to enter into the Arabian Sea. It has to go to the Gulf of Aden. Then the ship has to enter into the Red Sea. Here, the canal called as the Suez Canal is there. We need to cross the Suez Canal, enter into the Mediterranean Sea. From the Mediterranean Sea, the channel, the strait is called as the Strait of Gibraltar. And from the Mediterranean Sea, you need to enter into the Atlantic Ocean. From the Atlantic Ocean, you need to enter into the Gulf of Biscay. Then the Bay of Biscay. From the Bay of Biscay, you need to enter into the Baltic Sea. From the Baltic Sea into the Gulf of Bothnia. It's called as Gulf of Bothnia. From the Gulf of Bothnia into Gulf of Riga. From here, this is Moscow. What is Moscow? The capital city of Russia. From here, the products needs to be transported over the road transportation. For this entire transportation, it takes minimum of anywhere between 5 to 6 months. The transport has become very, very difficult. Though the two countries are very friendly countries, they want to exchange their imports and exports and also exchange their views. But the thing is, because of the geographical conditions where the transportation has become very difficult, it is taking more time period. At the same time, it is more cost effective also. Suppose if at all we are going other way. If we go in the other way, like there is another path. What is the other path? The other path, like if we go right from maybe Chennai to Strait of Malacca, into Bay of Bengal, into Strait of Malacca. From the Strait of Malacca, you need to enter into East China Sea. From the East China Sea, you need to enter into the South South China Sea, then the East China Sea, then you need to enter into Russia. From here again, you need to transport by road. Again, it is a very tedious journey. And so, what was the new trading route developed? Recently, Russia has sent two trains of, not just loads, 2 trains of coal was being sent by Russia. Russia sent 2 trains of almost some 20 to 25 wagons of train loaded with the coal was transported to Bombay port. How the transportation happened? Now see the new trading route. What is that new trading route that came into picture? Right from Bombay, we are entering into the Arabian Sea. From the Arabian Sea into the Strait of Hormuz, nothing but into the Iran. This is what the port called as Chabahar port. The Chabahar port was being modernized by the government of India because of the cordial relationship between India and Iran. And so Iran invited India to go for modernization of the port, and so we modernized the port. Because of that relation, the Chabahar port and India is having the greater access to the Chabahar port. From the Chabahar port, we can enter into the Iranian territory. There you can find the larger water body called as the Caspian Sea. Over the Caspian Sea, we can travel. On one side of the Caspian Sea, you can find the Kazakhstan, which is a good friend of India. On the other side of India, other side of the Caspian Sea, there is another country called as Azerbaijan, where the terms are, economical terms between Azerbaijan and India are also good. But recently, because of the Operation Sindoor, there were some strained relations, or else regarding economy, the terms are good. From here, we can enter directly into Moscow, like this one. When you can understand the so-called what you call as the international relations, when you can understand this international relation, provided you are having the knowledge of geography. If the knowledge of geography is not there, never you can understand this particular concept. What is the name of the concept called as? The name of the concept is the International North-South Transport Corridor. Though it is related to your polity, your international relations, without the knowledge of geography, you cannot understand, you cannot master this one. And so, don't say that the syllabus is too long, too lengthy. Always the syllabus, whenever it is more, then you will be getting more benefit. And moreover, as it is having very great correlation, means what? Overlapping with number of subjects. Where the society has been linked, then you can find the linking with the ethics. In the case of human geography, the human geography and the ethics case studies are more interrelated. How it can predict the behavior of the people? How the question that was asked in the 2025 mains was welfare. What is more important for the people? Welfare. The welfaric approach is there in geography. The very great personalities like William Bunge, the great personality called as Mr. David Harvey, and Richard Peat. In fact, Richard Peat has introduced a magazine called as Antipode. When you can understand all these things, provided if you master geography. Therefore, don't see geography as just only a meager subject where it is having very wide connectivity with all other subjects. Majority of the subjects where geography, wherever the space is involved, wherever the place is involved, geography is involved. In which subject where the place is not there? If the place is not there, there is no man at all. And so geography is there everywhere. Is that clear? That is what the link. When you can understand this link, you can understand everything. Clear? See, this is what the international transport corridor, North-South transport corridor. We are bypassing both the international trading routes, Strait of Malacca, also the Strait of Gibraltar on the Suez Canal. We are bypassing and we are directly entering into this one. If this route becomes, the main trading route, we will be cutting cost, not only the cost, even the time. Main is time, the time will be cut short and we can become very close to Russia. On one side Russia, other side Kazakhstan. What is the importance of the Kazakhstan? 1/3 of the world's natural gas is present in the Kazakhstan. Huge resource of natural gas. What else is required, right? This is what the scenario. On the other side, Azerbaijan is having very great oil resources. In fact, for the ONGC Videsh, the Azerbaijan country has sold one oil well. Earlier, we used to purchase the barrels of oil, but now the oil well belongs to us. We are extracting the oil well from the Caspian seabed. These are all the developments, and you will be shocked by listening this one. What is the very great economical development that happened? All you people know only about Russia and Ukraine, where they are at loggerheads, right? We are purchasing Russian oil, right? After purchasing the crude oil from Russia, we are refining that crude oil into petrol, diesel, kerosene, naphtha, Vaseline, and all these things, right? What we are doing, we are exporting these oils. We are not only utilizing in our country for the domestic purposes, also we are exporting, we are selling diesel to Bangladesh till recently. We were selling diesel to Bangladesh recently because of the unrest right now in the Bangladesh. They are not purchasing. That's a different story. But till recently, till Sheikh Hasina was there as the president of Bangladesh, we sold some millions of tons of diesel to Bangladesh. So since Bangladesh is there in the nearby neighborhood, and so we have sold. We might have sold, sir. That is not a big deal. And if I say this statement, you never can believe even. But it is true. We are selling diesel to Ukraine. Just imagine, are we selling diesel to Ukraine? Yes, we are selling the diesel to Ukraine. Whose oil? Russian oil. Who is selling? To Ukraine, which is the enemy of Russia, where right now they are at the loggerheads. But India is selling diesel to Ukraine. See the economical linkages. All these linkages becomes very much important for making the country to country relations. Like, whatever the relations you are talking about, questions probably maybe in your polity will be like this one directly in the GS. Explain the Indo-China relation, Indo-Australia relation, Indo-American relation. When you can understand all these relations, again geography comes into picture. Don't underestimate the optional geography. Once you are mastering the optional geography, you will be having 500 marks, all definitely will be there in the form of what is called as optional paper. Another 100 marks are there in the GS paper. Forget about the prelims. I am not talking about the prelims, because prelims, again, there is a lion's share of geography in the prelims, right? 100 marks are there in the paper 2 of geography, right? Apart from this one, disaster management, environmental studies, then you can talk about IR, the so-called geopolitics, right? Also society, all they come to another, one more, 150 marks. Literally, if you see the 2025 paper, the GS1 to GS4, and all these papers, whenever our paper 1 to paper 4, where including essay, where you can write, when you can write a better essay, whenever you are having the greater command on the geography, right? And so, don't ask me, like, sir, syllabus is vast. If it is vast, it is better for you. If it is less, you are at a loss, right? See, this is what the condition. Then, also, let us go back to the question paper, the syllabus. Now we are entering into what is called as the other one. What is the other one? Called as the human part. If you see the human part, human geography, what it is talking about? It is talking about the perspectives, meaning what? How the subject geography got evolved over a period of time. Such a wonderful topic, and at the same time, mind you, again, in the recent times, right from 2022, there is a shift from physical geography to human geography. I will be going in depth of all the entire analysis, like we'll be talking about the greater personalities, the Greek contributions, the Roman contributions, the contributions by the Arabs. We'll be talking about the contributions of the Germans, and right now the recent contributors, US contributors, in between the French contributors are there. We'll be talking about each and every personality, and the personality names are very important. Whenever you are writing the answers, you need to mention the names of the personalities. Just like, in the case of 2025 question paper, what is the one we are talking about, the welfare approach? Some of the names you need to represent as a condition in the answer sheet. Like, what are the names I have referred? Like the guy who has introduced the magazine called as Antipode, called as Richard Pitt. You have to mention Richard Pitt. David Harvey. This guy, David Harvey, is talking about such a great personality. David Harvey, he gave a statement. Geography needs to understand, the geographers needs to understand with respect to the society, who is controlling whom, in whose interest he is under the control, what the people are getting, from whom they are getting from. These are the questions that are raised by David Harvey. Also, another guy is the greater personality called as William Bunge. William Bunge has explained, geographers, you need to take the task of going to all the ghettos. What are ghettos? Nothing but the slum areas. Identify the people's plight there. What type of facilities are there for the people? Also see the discrimination that is happening between the whites and the blacks. The women is not given greater freedom. The women is not taken into consideration in the economical aspects. See, these are all the problems, because of the Vietnam War war between Vietnam and the USA, the USA hegemony. The people started playing a role against the government. They are supporting what is called as against the capitalist. They accepted Karl Marx concepts more. That is how the welfareism in geography came into picture, right? If at all you are writing this background, that itself is the answer, right? This is about what is called as the human geography. Ultimately, what is important? Human development is important, and so the human development index was included here. Then economic part, how the man is getting the economy from, meaning what? From where the man is getting food from? Agriculture. Industries, from where the man is getting the comforts from? All the comforts from the industries. And the services, tertiary sector again, all they are related to this one. There are certain models. What are the models? Where geography needs to be made into more scientific subject, and so it was made as a more science. In order to make geography as more science, models were developed. The best example, agricultural location models by Van Thunen. Alfred Weber's industrial location model. Not only this one, even in the some of the other topics also, the models were there. Like whenever you are talking about the settlements, you can find the concentric zonation model of Burgess, multiple nuclei model of the Harrison-Ullman, and also the sectoral model of Mr. Hyatt.
Every UPSC topper has one thing in common: a powerful optional subject that gave them the edge in mains. It's not just syllabus coverage, it's about building depth, precision, and scoring power that sets you apart when ranks are decided. That's exactly what the Vision IAS Optional Classroom Program 2026 delivers. Immersive classes for crystal clear concepts, intensive answer writing practice with expert feedback, dedicated mentorship to sharpen focus and strategy, refined study material trusted by toppers year after year. Whether you are starting fresh or aiming for the final breakthrough, this program transforms your optional into your rank booster. With Vision IAS, you never prepare alone. You prepare with the institute trusted by toppers across India. New batches for anthropology, geography, political science and international relations and sociology begins from 18 September. Don't just prepare, dominate mains with your optional. To know more or register, visit our website or call us on the given numbers.
The names of the personalities needs to be important and needs to remember, needs to write at one place. Whenever you are keep on, in the class we will be repeating not one time, for number of times. Whenever I am repeating number of times, obviously that get imprinted in your mind, right? These are all the models that comes under the economic geography and the population geography. With respect to the population, see this one, I am talking about the settlements, the models like, all this. With respect to the population, what is the trend right now? Many of the countries, specifically developed countries, are having a negative population growth rate. When the population itself is less, what to talk about the facilities, all the amenities that are there, whatever the developments the people have brought till time, where the vehicles are there, buildings are there, roads are there, but the people are less. For what? Who will be using those things? And so the population, why the population is changing, what is the mode that is happening? You can find the models like demographic transition model, the Malthusian model, and within these population settlements there are good number of other concepts like the primate city concept, the rank size rule. Also you can find some of the other important concepts that are present within the population like migration. There are good number of theories that are there in the migration like Ravashtin migration, then Evert Lee migration concepts. All these concepts we are going to discuss here in this one, population and settlements. Then the regional. When we are talking about the population and settlement, not only will be talking about the models, theories and all these things, but we will be comparing to the Indian models. Indian settlement, Indian population, how the Indian population is. See, all they are interconnected. Like this one, say for example, if at all you are talking about the economic geography, agriculture will be dealt here, the world agriculture, parallelly the Indian agriculture. Industries of the world, parallelly the industries of India. The nutrition problems in the world, nutrition problems in India, right? All the food security in the world, food security in India. Famines that are there in the world, and again in India. The same concepts we need to understand more about our India rather than more about the world, right? On the same lines, population also. Then regional planning, how a region should be planned so that there must be equitable distribution of the resources. For any region, having a regional balance is very difficult. For talk about any country, maybe it's a developed country or developing country or underdeveloped country, regional balances, regional imbalances are bound to be there. It is a duty of the administrator where he needs to reduce the imbalances, right? What are the models that are there? What is the concept? What do you mean by growth pool? What do you mean by growth center? The Parox model, the Baudeville model, how the model is being applicable to the Indian context, right? We'll be talking about the central place hierarchy model, the hierarchy of the cities and settlements that are there. How regional planning and the settlement. See this one, settlement earlier chapter, regional planning. Regional planning for which settlement? You need to connect this one. Right? In the classes, we'll be showing some of the examples and we'll be making you to draw the pictures. We'll be making you to understand the concept there. How the one central settlement will be providing the goods and services to the nearby settlements. The central place model of Chrysler. low central place model, how it is applicable even in the modern day concepts, right? At the same time, is it applicable in Indian context? Yes, we'll be checking all these things. Then finally, see, whatever the models we have given, all the models are present here. Instead of taking the models alone while talking about the subject, means while talking about the concept, there itself we will be applying the model, right? There is another thing called as the political aspects. What do you mean by the political aspects, the political concepts? There are two very important theories. One is called as the heartland theory of Mr. Mackinder and the rimland theory of Mr. Speckman. How the polity of the world is keep on changing. In the entire World War II, these two personalities played a major role in drafting the policies, in drafting the plannings for the countries. Especially Adolf Hitler was more fascinated towards these theories, the political models, and how they are applicable to the modern day concepts. Are they applicable or not? We will be checking all these things. This is about the human part. The moment once we start the human part, we will be interlinking the Indian concepts. All the Indian concepts will be dealt with respect to the world. First of all, we will be giving the model with respect to the world, and then we will be going to see the implementation of this model in the Indian context. This is the way we will be completing the paper 2. By the time we complete the paper 1, automatically the paper 2 will be taken care of. Is it clear? This is how the approach is there. Clear? Fine? These are the things. There are so many wonderful concepts. There are many wonderful concepts. The moment once we enter into the, we need to dive into the geography. Once we dive, we'll be keep on entering, we'll be swimming within that one. Such an interesting and such a great soothing subject. Now whatever the problems that are there, all the problems will be going off. Once you are entering into the subject, you can get greater interest. Once you are having the greater interest, you can do wonders. Right? This is all about, and no need to know the name of the faculty. What is important is the concept is more important. Right? No need to know what is the name of the faculty and all these things, but keep concentration on geography as a subject. Take care of yourselves. See you in the classes, right? They are going to start on 18th of September. Meet you in those classes. We'll be starting with Rajesh will be taking the political part, nothing but not the political part, the physical part, geomorphology, climatology, and I'll be taking oceanography, then environmental part, then biogeography, then the human aspects. Specifically, the human part will be dealt by me, right? I'll be starting with the human part, and then I'll enter into, once you are done with the climatology, we'll be entering into oceanography and all these things, right? Take care of yourselves. See you in the next class, in the classes. Until then, Jai Hind.